Hi Sam, how's it going? Last week, in general, there wasn't really a lot to say because we'd already kind of laid out in advance what you need to try and achieve for the week coming. Now, what we did talk about is trying to get the bar a little bit closer um, to the torso in the turnover. And these are looking good. There's still some gap, but it's just something you got to work on over time. That's better. I think where you went wrong on this one was it looked like you just had a bit too much weight in the front of your foot, you know? That's what I thought, but nah, it's just that classic error of the bar needs to be much closer. You get well, the main way you're gonna fix this. That was better. Is by like reviewing the video after the set, and you're just gonna have to like scrub through it and try and catch it in this frame here, and just like look at the like where the um, bar is relative to essentially this line right here. Try and draw a little bit better. Okay. So it's like the closer the bar stays to that line, the better. The further away it goes, the worse, essentially. So, it's like if you, a better way to describe it is if you imagine like where your start position is, right? So where the bar is over your foot. Let me get it in the right spot. In the start, right? So the bar should never really go forward at that point, right? So ideally, in your pull, the bar's going to start like roughly over this part of your foot, but obviously here because you got plates on it, and it comes back into you. You make contact with the hip. It comes out a little bit and ends up behind you, right? So if instead it comes, I'll change color. It comes back into you. You make contact, and it goes boom like that. Then like that's what's going to cause you to be on your toes in the recovery. This is kind of like a fundamental thing we got to work on. It's just minimizing that like loop on the blue line. I don't like it is getting better. And like I don't want to be like super discouraging. Like you are improving at it, but it's not an easy thing to do. It can be very helpful to spend a little bit of time just practicing doing that with the bar at the beginning with a lightweight. That was better. Just especially if it's a habit. Like if you're in the habit of letting that bar loop out too much, then like starting with a lighter weight will really help. Now the other thing that you do sometimes do is like you do a good lift and then you like drift forward in the recovery, which is why we had that period of time. That was a nice clean where we would just pause in the bottom of your snatches or halfway up on your snatches, and we fixed it. So like let's remember that skill that we developed. That was a great set. This is much better with on the clean than they are on the snatch. Much closer to you. It's like on the clean, you're doing a good job of getting those elbows up and keeping the bar close to your body. Whereas the snatch, you kind of let it come away from you a little bit, and then dive your chest through to get in front of it again. But yeah, like if you keep tipping forward in the recovery of the snatches, then we'll have to go back to pausing in the bottom. And like we were like before, like we were saying, like if you take a step, then it doesn't count, and we don't really want to go back to that. We want you just be able to get on with lifting, but if the same errors present themselves, then we have to go back to what worked before, because we did have that cracked. That was a nice set pulls. Really like that. so that's good. And we got some strength work. And generally speaking, your strength work looks pretty nice. That's a really nice vertical dip. Yeah, look at that, man. Boom. Interesting that you're using quite a sort of shallow dip, but I feel like you're getting plenty of elevation on the bar that way. So in general, the shorter the dip, the easier it is to stay vertical. But obviously, like if the dip is too small, then you won't get any height on the bar. So you need to like dip enough to sort of get that stretch reflex and get good acceleration. These are really good. I understand. All right, crushing it on the push press. We got a heavy single. I believe you hit 90% last week, so this is 2.5% up from last time. Let's see if it's kind of the right relative intensity. Yeah, that's good. And we also got a bit of a bounce. We talked about that last week, trying to get a bit of speed into the bottom, particularly on the front. That was a really good improvement, so well done. Let's see if you maintain that for a set of 5. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, nice. That's a great set, Sam. Well done. There is a small amount of movement in the foot. Like the pressure isn't completely even, but overall the positions of it are very nice. Just about to see the feet move around a little bit. But yeah, like honestly, those are really nice. And then we did talk about as well last time, I've written deadlift instead of clean deadlift, and that was entirely my fault. So I apologize for that. Let's have a look. That's good. Remember, you don't want to go touch and go on your deadlifts. You want to start from the floor each time, because when you do touch and go, you're like getting a bit of momentum, and you're not having to break the inertia of the bar when it's like completely static on the floor, which means you don't get that like the benefit of having to break a static bar off the floor. Because obviously when you're cleaning from the floor, you don't get that like stretch reflex, you don't get the bounce of the plates. So like you're kind of making it easier in a way that's going to make it transfer less into the clean. Now the other thing I would say is I would like to see your knees a little more bent at the bottom, because you can see in your start position here. And partly you might attribute this to the touch and go style. But you can see your back is quite horizontal. And the issue with that is it means that your shoulders are quite far over the bar. Okay, so naturally, with your shoulders that far forward, the bar is going to want to hang like here, which forces you to like actively squeeze it in. Now there are parts of the clean ball where you have to use your lats to bring the bar in. However, if you just like start with your torso a little bit more upright, then that means that the bar will naturally kind of hang a bit closer to your legs. Kind of like you'll be able to massively reduce the amount you have to use your upper body to keep the bar close, which makes it way easier, and also reduce the chance that you're going to get pulled forward to the bar. So cleans were very nice. Snatch just needs to be a bit closer to your torso. We don't appear to have any jerks on this week. Go back and see. Just picking up some jerks from last week. So yeah, squats improved, push presses were bang on, jerks, about to see. It's good amount of foot movement there. I believe we had some footwork drills in the program. Yeah, very nice. Okay, so obviously lightweight, but it's looking very, very technical, so that's great to see. So the main thing is just on that snatch, keeping the bar a bit closer to the torso in the turnover. You just gotta like drill it in with light weights. You can do like muscle snatches or powers to make it even simpler with the bar when you're warming up, and then when you switch over to the full movement, it'll be way easier. But you gotta scrub through the video and like look at the distance between you and the bar, because it should be sort of like a very, very small gap between you and the bar. If it's like 8-10 inches, then like your snatch is going to be forward no matter what. So you've got to keep that bar close to your torso and close to that line of action.